Information fueled.
Opinion driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
We talk news.
8:06, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan, I want to go down memory lane.
Okay.
I want to know if you remember this.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's...
Do you remember that, Joan?
Oh, yeah.
That was the thing when I was in
Every
school, too.
Saturday morning.
Schoolhouse Rock,
a
man.
long wait.
You know, nowhere in this 3-minute little how to make a bill thing, how to make a bill a law, do they mention the Votorama?
I'm still just a bill.
Like nowhere.
Maybe it's a current thing.
Oh, I don't know. Is it okay? Maybe Votorama's. I mean, listen. Back when this was done, probably in the '60s or whenever it was, I'd be willing to bet that Congress wasn't nearly as dysfunctional as it is now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I bet you that.
And I'll remain a bill until they decide.
I used to love this Schoolhouse
Oh,
Rock.
I know. I loved it, too.
Did you ever watch the Electric Company?
Yes.
You watched Electric Company?
Yes.
Do you know what I was doing this weekend? This is why I'm always so glad to come back to work on Monday.
Were you watching?
I started watching old episodes of the Land of the Lost.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that with the Schlee stack?
Yes.
Remember that whole thing?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You went down the memory lane hole.
Well, I used to have a thing for Holly. That has been
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
that has been well documented on this radio station over there. If people know a few things about me, number one, I like In and Out. Number two, I had a thing for Holly when I was a kid, and I forget what the other ones are. But anyway, yeah. So Land of the Lost. Matter of fact, did you know that? Okay, so did you ever watch Land of the Lost?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say I was like a real big fan like that, but
All right. Yes or no, Joan?
okay.
Will and Holly got back home. Yes or no?
Well, they had to.
No. No, that's not an answer. Well, they had to. That's not a yes or a no.
Yes, they got back home. No?
So it's interesting. The third season, because I couldn't remember.
Right.
I'm going to admit I was
looking
drinking
it
a
up.
little bit this weekend.
Oh, that's why.
So I'm like drunk
Why you're
looking at
doing
Holly
this.
from Land of the Lost, right? This weekend. I wasn't drunk. But anyway, so I started thinking, did they ever get off that, get back to the, get out of the Land of the Lost and back to, civilization?
Right.
Season 3 ended and they left them there. The dad got back home, but then somehow the weird uncle came in on season 3.
Is that the guy that was always with him? The uncle?
Well, it was the dad first, and then the dad got back, and then the uncle came in.
Okay.
Somehow, because I guess the uncle came looking for them, and they passed each other in the dead of night or something. I don't know. I'd be willing to bet that if I actually sat down and watched an episode of Land of the Lost, the TV series from the 70s, I'd be like, no wonder I was so screwed up as a kid. This doesn't make any sense. But I was obsessed with dinosaurs.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm still obsessed with dinosaurs. That's why I'm so looking forward to the next Jurassic Park that's coming out in just a few days.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you saying you're sorry? Are you saying, you know what? You're talking to Amy, aren't you? You're sorry to Amy. You know what I told Amy? I said, this is one of those instances where you've got to fulfill those marital vows, girlfriend. That's what I told her. You got to fulfill those vows. You got to come with me to the movies to see Jurassic Park for the 90,000th time.
And does Amy get anything out of this?
Pop.
Like popcorn?
Yeah, pop. Maybe a Slurpee if she's good.
Oh, to be your wife.
I don't think you want to do that, Joan.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Anyway, moving right along.
Poor Amy.
Oh no, you know what? She's I'm sure very
Does she
excited.
indulge you? Like happily?
depends on what we're talking about, but yeah, basically, yeah. If she'll come with me to go to the movies, she will do that. And we were talking earlier about what was it that movie we were talking about, the Monty Python.
Yeah. Which she enjoyed.
She actually enjoyed.
Yes.
For people that missed it in the 5 o'clock hour, just very quickly. Joan and I, we challenged each other to watch a movie that we chose for one another. And I chose Love Actually for Joan. And Joan chose Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I believe that Monty Python and the Holy Grail is the dumbest movie ever done. It is just dumb.
But didn't it make you laugh?
No, it really didn't. There's only like one or two instances where I thought that it was actually like funny. And it wasn't even a laugh, Joan. It was like a chortle. It wasn't even a guffaw. Is Joan no longer speaking to me?
No, I am.
I'm stunned. I've stunned Joan into silence.
I just, like, that is the funniest movie, I think.
Dan, this is how me and Joan think about you.
I fart in your general direction.
There you go.
That's how we feel about you right now, collectively.
Or about your sense of humor.
That
Just your movie taste in general.
that really, to be honest with you, that landed like just a scratch.
See?
You see what I did there?
Dan, I have more ammunition.
Here's the thing. Amy loved it. Amy thought it was very good, and she thought it was funny.
So she had never seen it before?
No, believe it or not, she had never seen it before.
And the wife is always right, so...
Well, that is
go.
true.
Well, I'm just glad that we're bringing you guys some culture.
Now, Joan did not like Love Actually.
No.
The fact that's your favorite movie of all time.
3847. That's not my favorite movie of all time. I never said that.
Well, it's up there. Didn't you say it was up there?
3841. Joan, you're great. Dan, you suck.
Okay, what is your favorite movie of all time then, Dan? Let's hear it right now.
Do you have to have one? I mean, I think...
Well, you have one that you can watch endlessly without, like, you can't get bored of it.
I have several of those. War of the Gargantuas is a big one.
What?
War of the Gargantuas. It was a movie, Japan, 68, 69. There was a green one and a brown one, War of the Gargantuas, and they were brothers. And they were separated for a long time, and then they found each other in, the woods of Japan.
Tuned out.
And, well, you know what? Okay, you know what, Joan? Just for that, guess what you're watching this weekend?
Oh, no, what?
War of the Gargantuas.
Oh!
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, War of the Gargantuas, that's what you're going to watch.
All right, then hold on, let me see if you've seen it before. Have you seen Phantom of the Opera?
No.
Come
Are you
on,
kidding
man.
All right, that's yours.
Why do you give me such hoity-toity
That's
stuff to watch?
yours, because it's a wonderful...
What? Did you just say Phantom of the Opera is
Yes.
hoity-toity?
It's hoity-toity, I know.
I'm going to lose it in here.
There's some songs in it, Dan. Sorry.
I'm not a musical guy. Even I know that's good.
I would like Phantom of the Opera probably if it wasn't a musical.
All right, so I'm watching the Gargantuans?
War of the Gargantuas.
War of the Gargantuans.
Oh, God. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Do you know what we
And
ought to do?
watch
You know what we ought to do?
the Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler. That's very important.
Phantom of the Opera
With Gerard Butler.
with Gerard Butler.
Yes.
All right. What do you think of the people are texting this because I was thinking the same thing. Princess Bride.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you like
that's
that?
another good one.
That's a great one.
I never saw it.
Come on.
I never saw it. I had a life in the 90s, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You can watch a movie in the 90s and have a life. That's
Apparently not me. I was too busy watching reruns of Star Wars and War of the Gargantuas.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wait.
Pretty sad existence, isn't it?
What's the best Star Wars in your opinion?
The best Star Wars is, it's either going to be Empire Strikes Back
Okay.
or, I think Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, good. That was the right answer. Okay.
Oh, good.
That's
I'm
fine.
glad you're pleased.
Yeah, no. That's known
I
as
don't
one of the
have
greatest movies ever.
a favorite one. You know why?
Oh,
Never
no.
seen 'em?
Don't say it.
I saw the first one.
Wait.
You saw
Which? A New Hope or Phantom Menace?
What?
There's two different first ones. You know what I'm talking about.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. I'm tracking.
So, did you see the one from the 70s?
Yes.
Okay, then you saw the original first one. That's fine. Okay. If you saw Phantom Menace, then I would understand not seeing the other ones.
How were you not inspired? I've said this a number of times this morning. Who is Joan Jones? Like, how did you see the original A New Hope and then you weren't
Leia,
inspired
right?
to go
Leia,
see?
not Leah.
Leia. I like the curly cues on her hair, but that was really about it.
It looked like she had a croissant on her head.
Yeah.
Or a cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Or a cinnamon roll. There you go. That's true. I always wanted a Chewbacca as a pet. I could, like scratch him behind the ears.
And his foot would start stomping.
Okay, maybe Dan needs to see Princess Bride, though. I do think he needs to see
I'm
that.
going
Said
for
Phantom.
no.
You think
You know what?
Yeah,
Hold
bro.
on. I got 99.49 here that says that he actually pulled over to text. I'm with you, Dan. Stupidest movie ever made. Thank you, 99.49.
Please.
Boom.
Pulling over to do that makes you even more wrong, and you should be ashamed, sir. Or madam. I don't care which one. I'm not going to.
Why do you two always gang up on me?
Ron says,
Because
Dan, you don't like Monty Python, but you like The Land of the Lost? There you
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess,
that's a bad.
I guess I
go.
do,
Doesn't
don't
really
I?
make any sense.
That really doesn't, because they're very. That doesn't.
Peter says my daughter liked the robots in Star Wars, C-3PO or
I mean, everyone did. And
Yeah.
R2D2.
R2D2. Thank you very much. Have we done traffic yet?
no,
no.
we better get to it because Dave says this segment is painful.
8:18 on W for all of us.
Respect Mel Brooks, Dan. That's all I ask to say.
8:18, time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather for today, it's going to be hot. High of 90, scattered thunderstorms as well. Going to feel like about 97, 98 degrees. 3841 says Dan never wanted to be a talk show host anyway. He always wanted to be a lumberjack.
Oh, I'm a
That
lumberjack
is,
and I'm okay.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that a movie thing? I never wanted to be a lumberjack. No. I would be the guy that would cut down a tree and it'll land on me. That would be what would happen to me. Anyway, where were we
goodness.
going with this segment?
Not really sure, actually.
I think we were just judging you. I think we were just like trying to find new movies. I think we just lost track.
Well, no, you know what? I started talking about my love of Holly from Land of the Lost, and it all went downhill from there. Anyway, so I will watch Phantom of the Opera this weekend.
I also say maybe put in Princess Bride as well. You might like that one.
I don't have time to watch like 4 hours of movies. I barely have time to.
We have 4 days off coming up.
I'm busy those 4 days.
Get yourself a Dangria, settle in.
Your wife would love those movies too.
Yeah.
I guarantee you she loves Princess Bride.
I don't know if she would or not. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I bet you she's probably seen it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what Amy did? Joan. So she actually. This is actually very funny. So she and I have been arguing about boy bands for like a long time.
Oh God.
Right? No, you stop it. So she and I have been arguing about boy bands for a long time because I believe that boy bands are lame.
Oh, okay.
So you know what she did? She makes a playlist. She got a hold of my phone. She makes a playlist on my phone of boy bands. And so I got like NSYNC and One Direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dan, when you said you were arguing about it, I thought you were like Team NSYNC and she's Team Backstreet Boys.
But here's the funny thing. So we're out at the pool and she gets my phone. She starts playing this playlist, this pool playlist. And I hate to say it, but I kind of liked it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Little One Direction. Mm-hmm. And,
Are you into
Justin Bieber. I might be a believer.
Oh God. Oh Dan,
Are you
for
into
this
Big
audience,
Time Rush?
for these listeners, do not do that.
Big time rush.
Big Time
Joan
Rush.
was on the list.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I've
right.
gone to concerts. I've gone to their concerts.
There you go, Joan.
I don't even
Hey,
want to
listen,
know
just
what
so
the
we're
chat
clear,
is
I
saying.
have a whole nother playlist full of like Ozzy and Metallica.
It's too late,
Which is
Dan.
and
It's too
Ronnie
late.
James Dio.
Wow, how different are they? Boy bands and Ozzy.
Listen, I'm eclectic. If nothing else, I'm eclectic.
Okay, that's the name for it now?
That-
Eclectic?
I'm
That is.
scared what the chat's saying now.
Do you know what? I'm out of here. I'm leaving.
Good call. That's the right call.
And there goes Mandis. Thought his career was going well, and then he admitted that he kind of liked his wife's boy band playlist,
quote,
and he was out.
He said, quote, he was a belieber. That was the end as we know it.
Was that the end of my
This
career?
is the final Nationals Morning News of Dan Mandis as we know it.
I actually don't, in all seriousness, because I like pop music. Like, I do. I like a finely well-crafted pop song. And so I've always made fun of Justin Bieber. I never actually heard him. And then she stuck some, Justin Bieber in there, and I was like, oh, this is good. Who is this? And she started laughing. It's Justin Bieber, you knucklehead. Anyway, moving right along. 615-737-9986. 615-737-WWTN. All right, Joan, we're going to do the tease.
Okay.
Then we're going to do some actual content on the other side of this news tease and the, messages that you've got coming your way. So Joan was coming up at 8:30.
Well, they're back at it in the Senate this morning working on that big, beautiful bill. Also, stocks begin trading in a couple of minutes here. And the market, had record highs on Friday. We're going to see if they're adding to it. We'll check the numbers, the opening bell numbers, and bring them to you. Coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
8:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I do find it interesting how, you ever notice this, Joan? Where these politicians, they like to brand themselves for whatever reason as street.
Mm-hmm. They get their street creds that way.
When they're really not.
Right.
So apparently AOC has been pretending, they say, to be a Bronx girl street kind of girl, when in reality she is a passenger princess from the suburbs. Lefty firebrand Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez spoke out on her suburban high school yearbook picture, but still continued to dodge her Westchester County upbringing. She says, I'm proud of how I grew up and talk about it all the time. AOC says, my mom cleaned houses and I helped. We cleaned at tutors' homes in exchange for SAT prep. So apparently what happened is that people found her yearbook photo, and I guess it made her look a little bit more upper crust, if you will, as opposed to a street. Guy named Matt Slater, he is a state assemblyman, a Republican out of Yorktown, saying that AOC is embarrassing herself for doing everything possible to avoid saying she grew up in the suburbs instead of the Bronx. The Democratic Congresswoman's Bronx girl claims have repeatedly come under fire, with folks in the northern Westchester community remembering her as Sandy Cortez from Yorktown Heights.
Sandy Cortez. Oh, that's very different from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I don't know why. Why do they do this? Like, you see this all the time. This guy, Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I'm seeing all this stuff on the social medias now about how his mom is a millionaire. And
Yes.
Dude definitely comes from upper crust.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I don't understand. It's nothing to be ashamed of coming from money. Do you remember the good old days when you were ashamed to be poor? Now people are ashamed to be rich. Just be who you are, regardless of, what reality is. Just be you. Don't lie to folks. That's why people get into trouble.
The New York Post reports that she was born in the Bronx, but her family moved to Yorktown when she was 5 years old, and she went on to graduate from Yorktown High School in 2007. It's a lie. Like, what she's trying to tell us, which she has been telling us for years, is a lie.
Are you surprised? Wasn't
I'm
she
not.
Recruited? She was like a bartender. Everybody knows, right? She was a bartender. And there's this whole thing where they sort of recruited her to be a congresswoman.
Yeah.
And I believe, if I remember right, there was a whole documentary about it. And she was shocked that she won in that primary, probably kind of like Zoran Mamdani was shocked that he won. And so now as I'm kind of bouncing between the two, but AOC is, swearing up and down that she's a Bronx girl. There was somebody else that did that in San Francisco too. Who was it? Do you folks remember there is a story about somebody in San Francisco, and I don't remember who it was. It was a politician of some sort, and it was the same kind. Oh, it was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was always like, "Oh yeah, I was born in Oakland. I'm an Oakland girl," and I think she was born in Oakland. She said it like that too. She was born in Oakland, but then she moved to like some, hoity-toity kind of upper middle class suburb.
Yes, it was a gated community. Wasn't it in? Was it in Canada or?
So she went from Oakland to a San Francisco suburb. Then she was off to Canada, and she kind of went. She's not street. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
AOC isn't street, it sounds like, and Kamala Harris isn't. But here's the thing, is that when they make such a concerted effort to lie, like Hillary with the sauce, right? What was the taco sauce?
Hot
sauce. There's the hot sauce in her purse.
Yeah.
And then all the accents that she used to. I mean, who was worse, Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton, when it came to the stupidity of those accents? I think probably it was Kamala Harris. Because hers, like, added to the entire aura of stupidity with Kamala Harris, because she had the chuckle, right? She had just the complete word salad that Kamala Harris had. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like, Jasmine Crockett crap, where it's like, depending on who she's talking to, is how she speaks. If she's talking to a bunch of folks, that she considers street, well, then all of a sudden, whether it's Kamala Harris or Jasmine Crockett crap, what do? They pull out the street voice. And then if they're talking in like an interview that they would deem, I don't know, maybe important, then they pull that back. And then you've got private school Jasmine Crockett crap, right? So I don't know, do Republicans do that? Have you ever known, and I'm being serious now, have you ever known of a Republican to change the way that they speak depending on the group that they're speaking to? Trump's never in a million years done that, has he? I don't think so. I don't think George, W. Bush did. Did he ever do that? No. Hillary did. Kamala Harris did. Jasmine Crockett does. I think AOC does it too, doesn't she, Joan? She every once in a while goes for the, sort of like the Bronx vernacular and the accent and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Has anyone, so somebody on the super text line help me. Has there ever been a Republican who has faked an accent? Maybe there has been, and I just don't know it. I can't think of one. KGB, can you name one? Reagan was an actor. And he could pull up any accent he wanted to, but he was always
that was
sincere.
His job,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've never seen someone do it just for, we've seen it recently for political gain, but not like to the extent of this. This is just completely lying. Well, the politician's going to be lying, but it's it's either stolen valor or a fake family or whatever. It's just commonplace. I'm just used to it now.
It is kind of stolen valor. That's what I would say. It's kind of like stolen valor. Like if you were genuinely from a bad neighborhood, right, and then you've got maybe a couple of bullet wound scars and maybe a knife scar, and you just and then somebody comes along and says, "Oh yeah, I'm from this hood."
Wasn't there a presidential candidate that lied about his Vietnam duty? Like he said he went to Vietnam, but it actually was just he just did
John
stuff.
Kerry.
Yeah,
was it John Kerry?
No. Well, that's the Swift boats, but there's one other guy. He said he did something, and maybe he was in Iraq. Maybe he lied about Iraq.
I remember a presidential candidate who claimed that he was at the top of his class. And he was nowhere near the top of his class. His name was Joe Biden.
To be fair, lying about military service, I feel like is worse than saying you were the top of your class and at school.
Well, it is, but it's also really dumb.
It's stupid because people can easily fact check it.
You can easily find that out.
Well, that's why he bailed out of the 88 election. And he did the same thing.
Well, no, he bailed out of the 88 election because of the plagiarism.
The plagiarism.
Plagiarism,
But he
that's
also
right.
had that, too. They were like calling him in on multiple things, but the plagiarism was the main thing.
Hey, you want to hear an amazing story?
Hold on. I want to go back to that, the pronouncing your names.
Yeah.
You know, there's an anchor on Newsmax.
Okay.
That talks about how other news anchors, like, they go into the...
Yeah.
And so, they have to speak the language when they do it. And he had a really funny line, and I thought it was really relevant to what you're talking about. Hang on.
That honestly, why do we do that? When I say Alejandro Mayorkas, I just say Alejandro Mayorkas. But on CNN, it's Alejandro Mayorkas. I'm Irish. When police arrest someone with an Irish name, I don't say police just arrested 25-year-old Charlie McLaughlin. I just say police arrested Charlie McLaughlin.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, there used to be a news anchor in Los Angeles, Linda Alvarez.
Yes.
And I used to and this was before I was even, political. And I'd sit there, and my dad, of course, hardcore conservative. And I'm like, Dad, why does she do that? like all these other things, like she doesn't pronounce with the rolling R.
Yeah.
But when she signs on, I am Linda Alvarez. And it's on TV, but I'm like wiping the spit from my face. You know what I mean?
I used to work with a reporter her last name was Ryan. So she's, and she has flaming red hair, obviously, of Irish descent. But anytime she would get to the name of somebody with Spanish, a Spanish name, she would do the Alejandro Mayorkas.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Richard Blumenthal, 7854 says Richard Blumenthal is
He's
the one
the
that
one.
claimed. And Tim Waltz said that he served. This is a Democrat thing,
That's
isn't
right.
it? Of course, you had George Santos. He's our guy.
Yeah. Hang that one on us.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. This is a crazy story and an amazing story. Joan, you ever been on a cruise?
Yeah, a couple of them.
All right. So you know how high those ships can be.
Yes.
There is a story in the Daily Mail about a 4-year-old who fell off a Disney cruise from like the 4th floor, from the 4th deck. That's high. And they are in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, my goodness.
And somehow, this 4-year-old tumbled off of the boat, 4 stories down, plunging into the Atlantic Ocean. The father jumped, like not even hesitating, jumps into the water to rescue his 4-year-old daughter. Amazingly, both were rescued.
No.
And they're both okay.
That is the best news.
That
because
never happens.
Never happens. Wow.
Onlookers rushed to the railings, gasping as they realized the child had fallen overboard from the 4th deck of the huge vessel. This is like a big old Disney cruise.
Oh, my goodness.
Plunging into the choppy waters. In a split-second decision, the girl's father leapt in after her, determined to keep her afloat and save his daughter's life.
Oh, that's Dad of the Year right there.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine? Every time she misbehaves, he's going to remind her of that. I saved my daughter from choking one time.
Did you?
I did. And so every time she'd piss me off, I'd say, I saved you from dying. That got old after like the first 15 times.
I had to give my husband the Heimlich.
Did you really?
Save him, yeah. Yeah.
What did he choke on?
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
Yeah.
I caught my grandfather once from smacking his head on the concrete. Like I grabbed him by his arms and pulled him up as he was falling.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah, and he was like, this was after my grandmother died, so this was like he was at the end of his life too. So it was, that was like my first of multiple catches of saving people. I even saved one. There was a huge windstorm during a wedding, and those big umbrella holders that are metal.
Yeah.
And they're heavy. One was going right for the bride's face, and I caught it with my arm.
Wow, look at you, KGB.
And,
wow.
I just hands Jessica Mason, one of my family, friends love her to death. She can vouch for that story too. I basically saved her from a broken skull.
Wow. All right. Well, I saved both of my children from choking.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Wow.
I just like I
That's
said
my
to my
biggest
wife at the
fear.
time, can you people like not take smaller bites? Why is this so difficult?
Wow.
And the funny thing is, I've never in my life actually taken a CPR course. Now, so was your husband was he actually turning blue?
Well, he was choking, and we the kids and I were still all talking around the table. We didn't realize, and so he banged on the floor with his foot, and then when I looked over, he was holding his throat to say I'm choking, and so he was bent over trying to cough, and I was behind him and I pulled him up. I said, stand up straight, because I couldn't get to his stomach.
Right. Yeah.
And just, pushed in hard enough that it came up. But, and then after that, then comes that rush of adrenaline that makes you want to pass out.
Right.
I can't believe that just happened. You know that feeling. It's such a rush. Yeah.
And then you realize you broke his rib.
I did not, but whew.
Have you taken an actual
when I was young
class?
Probably in high school, but not since then.
So has he been on a liquid diet ever since?
No.
I take really small bites.
It's a good plan.
Yeah. All right, well,
Crazy.
very good.
Yep. Crazy stuff.
We're all heroes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just thankful that,
Heroes don't always wear capes, KGB.
Yeah.
You remember that.
Well, I was wearing a cape on both occasions for mine, so I don't know what you guys were doing.
Some heroes come in on a horse.
Yeah, there you go.
And there you have it. The entire broadcast has come full circle. All right, it is 8:53 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. And Joan has the news coming up at 9. And by the way, a programming note, Murphy Show, he tried his darndest to do the broadcast today, but he's at home and he's Ellen, so still hurting. So Brian Wilson is coming up next. Chris Sand is going to be on this afternoon, and Joan was coming up.
Yeah, it looks like Iran is back to hiding its nuclear program once again. Also, Canada's prime minister tried tightening the screws on President Trump, but he's just backed off. We've got those stories and more coming up here at 9 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.